What's up, guys? It's your boy Rondre3000, and I'm back. I'm about 95% over the allergy attack I had last week. Feeling a lot better. I can actually speak without sneezing or coughing every 10 seconds or so. What you're seeing here is the gameplay and the commentary I spoke about last week. That quote-unquote controversial subject. I'd actually bounced the idea off a few people since I was down for the count last week and didn't really want to get into it. And really appreciative of those guys who let me kind of use them as a soundboard and tell me what they thought about this particular topic. What I wanted to get into is my opinion on how the public combat record is not necessarily an improvement for the Call of Duty community. In fact, I kind of wish that combat records weren't public. I wish it was like it was in Modern Warfare 2, where you were only able to view the combat records of people that were on your friends list. And this is kind of my reasoning. How many times have you gone into a public lobby and the first thing that you did was checked out everybody's stats? Everybody should pretty much say, yeah, that's me. I know I've done it. It kind of lets me know whether I need to raise or lower my kill streaks, or what kind of game I'm in for. But more and more, I've been noticing that people get into these lobbies and they check out the competition, and if it's something that they don't want to see, they back out. And so I've been in lobbies with the guys from the PSN where, you know, my friends on the PSN like Hutch and you know, his group of guys like Reaper and Ultimate Knight. Their stats are so impressive that it's actually really hard for us to get a game, because if we're full party and another party or singles comes in and they see the stats, they're like, whoa, I don't want to run up against that. And you know what, that's fine. If you're not in for a challenge, you're not in for a challenge. But when you're backing out of a lobby to protect your stats, what exactly does that say about you? I kind of had this epiphany last week. Actually, two events kind of helped shape my opinion and how this commentary was going to go. A buddy of mine on Xbox Live, for my PSN subscribers that aren't used to what the dashboard looks like on Xbox Live, you can create like a little like a player card, kind of sort of, that you know, lists your name, where you're from, and you can put like a little motto or quote in there if you want. And one of the quotes that my buddy had put on his little player card deal was stop dashboarding. Nobody cares about your stats. And that kind of rang true for me, because I played on the competition playlist with him, and I believe at the time we had started, he was like a mid 4 KD player, really strong player. And at the end of the night, he was like around mid 2s, and that's due primarily to the way that the competition playlist runs. I mean, you're not going to get those 50-1 games playing the competition playlist. It's just not going to happen. The caliber of competition's a little bit higher. There's no kill streaks, and you know, most people there like to play full party. It's the way that competition playlist is set out. You're not going to go in there and pub stomp. It's just not going to happen unless you're rolling with, you know, a group of guys that are MLG legit themselves. But you know, his KD dropped from mid 4s to mid 2s, something like that, and mine dropped from like low 2s to, you know, like 1.7-ish. Let's just call it that. And I was like, wow, you know, playing that playlist really put a beat down on my KD. And then I went and looked at his combat record like a few days later, and I was like, holy crap, you know, his took a beating as well. But he's the type of guy that didn't bother him one bit. And I started thinking, you know, if my boy here, who's probably one of the strongest Call of Duty players I've ever played with, one of the smartest, definitely, if it doesn't matter to him, why should it matter to me? It's not like he's any less of a less skilled player for having his KD drop like that. In fact, I probably venture to say that he's getting better, which is actually scary. because of the level of competition that he's playing against, and just the way that the game types are laid out. So what I wanted to get into is why the obsession? Why are there kids out there, and not just kids, which is really dumb, that will only play full party demo so that they can spawn trap and inflate their KDs? Why are there people out there that will go into domination lobbies with the purpose of not playing the objective, but running around with Ghost on and playing domination like team deathmatch, only to rack up kills and get big kill streaks and mount up impressive scores? And the only answer I could come up with is so that they could look like the Sheezy in public room lobbies, so that when people pull up their combat records, like they know people will, they'll see those combat records and go, wow, that guy must be a beast. When in reality, you put these guys in the game of, let's just say, capture the flag or domination, some team objective game that requires a little bit of communication, and you put up a little bit of a challenge against them, and those guys are quick to dashboard. They'll be the first ones getting ready to dashboard or rage quit or whatever. And I thought about that, and I'm like, wow, how sad is that? That you care so much about a number on a combat record that you're willing to turn off the game. I mean, I've rage quit plenty of times, believe me. Whether it was due to, me being a single and having what I thought were really crappy teammates, or just knowing that, hey, you know what, it's not your night. Maybe it's time to go to bed, But I'm definitely not rage quitting. I'm definitely not dashboarding to protect some statistic. And this reminded me of another instance. I was playing Black Ops last week on Xbox Live, and there was a guy in the lobby who played 2 games back to back. And there's a guy in the lobby that was I'd won 2 games back to back. There was a guy in the lobby who just would not stop talking trash about, man, I'm a 3 KD player, and you're getting lucky, Rondre. I'm about to win this next game. And he wasn't playing bad. I mean, I'd win these games and he'd have a score of, like, just say 18-5 or 22-3. So to me, I was thinking, wow, maybe things are just, maybe I'm just happen to be in the better parts of the map. I didn't see him a whole lot. So I looked up his combat record, and sure enough, he was a 3 KD player, and I was like, wow. Then I looked at the first page of his combat record and saw something peculiar. His win-loss was .09. Now, it doesn't take a dummy to realize that that's not an accident. Even if you're an average player and all you played was solo in games of Call of Duty, your KD would probably be right around .5. You'd win half the games, you'd lose half the games. If you were a legitimate 3 KD player, that means there are opportunities for you to change the outcome of a game by yourself. A 3 KD player, I'm thinking, that's somebody who's fairly strong. But for this guy to have a .09 KD, that tells me one thing. He's got that secret perk that Treyarch never told you about, called Dashboard Pro. If something isn't going his way, that guy is backing out of a game and dashboarding to save his oh so precious KDR. I guess what he didn't realize or didn't care about is how silly it looks, because the combat record is public. So I guess my little rant and rave today is based on those guys. The guy who really isn't a representation of what his stats say, which is silly. I mean, because really, I could care less about what somebody's stats look like. In fact, I've been playing with a subscriber recently who doesn't have the most impressive stats. I think last time I checked, he had like a win-loss record in .4 and a KD of, I think it was just over 1. But I tell you what, in the games I have played with him, the guy's solid. If I went completely on what his combat record told me, I don't know if that I'd play a whole lot with him. I mean, if I was looking to set up a lobby of strong players, um, if I had to go just on combat record, like if I hadn't played with him before, he definitely wouldn't be the first guy I picked. But that just goes to show that stats don't tell the whole thing. So I guess I hope a lot of you guys listen to what I'm trying to say and try to enjoy the game more. Don't be that guy that is so wrapped up in what his stats tell people that he doesn't enjoy the game. Because I'll tell you straight up, there's times when I play this game where the lobby's doing silly things, like this time last weekend. We're playing some domination on firing range, and everybody on the team decided to use extended Mac 11s with decoys. And I got to tell you that that was so much fun, just running through lobbies and winning games that way, where everybody just wanted to have a good time. Nobody was wrapped up in, oh man, what, how's that going to affect my KDR? Is my KDR going to drop? Like, I got to protect that. You know what I mean? Nobody had that sort of mentality. Everybody just wanted to have fun. As you can see in this game here, by this time you realize that this isn't a super duper impressive game for me. In fact, I think I go double negative in this game. I had my rectum kicked all the way around the world on this game. But I tell you what, coming up here, last play of the game is what made it all worthwhile. For my viewers out there that have ever played competitive sports, you know that game that you played where by the time the game was over, you felt like you had nothing left. Like you gave everything you had. You left it all out in the field. And when that final bell or buzzer or whistle blows, your team comes out victorious, and you just breathe a sigh of relief and are just happy that you were able to contribute to a win. That's what this felt like for me. Take a look at those stats. Not a whole lot of people on my team went positive. In fact, there's only one. And if you look at the other team, if we just had to go by stats, they should have won. But that's not what happened. And I still had a great time playing this game. So I guess that's what I'm trying to get out to you guys. Just if you're an average guy, have fun at the game. Don't worry about your KDR or your win-loss. Just try to enjoy yourself. And I guarantee you'll be a much happier person. Anyways, that's all I got for this commentary this time, guys. Please leave me some comments down below. I'd like to have a dialogue with you guys and hear what you guys think about stats and all that mess. Thanks for being patient and waiting for this commentary. As usual, hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And definitely leave me some comments down below so we can have a discussion. All right, guys? Peace out.